everyone, today I'm going to show you how I make my what I call my Tiffany rose. I did make a video, it was called Tiffany Blue Inspired Flower, so this is the same exact flower, but I'm going to show you how I make it with instructions and also how I make the center. So to start, what I have cut out is one hexagon and 3 different shaped petals. I do sell the template if you're interested, but I'm using 3 different sizes. So, and what I'll need is a pair of scissors, a bone folder, or something to curl your petals with, a glue gun, glue sticks, and I do have these for my flower centers. I'll show you what I do with them later. So to start, what I like to do is I'd like to curl my petals. And I'll start with the largest size. So for this, this particular paper is called Champagne Pearl. You can buy it at Michael's Arts and Crafts store. That's where I've been getting it. And this is the same paper I'm using for all of my wedding flowers. So since the shimmery iridescent side is on top, I'd like to curl the petals under. And I have 6 large petals, 6 medium petals, and 6 small petals for each flower. And this bone folder works really well in curling the petals. I like it more than using a glue stick or a pen. I find that I'm much quicker and it doesn't crease any of the petals. Sometimes rolling it with an object can crease it, and I don't like that look. But it works just fine if that's all that you have. So next is my medium-sized petal. Again, I'm curling the petal under. Okay, 6 of those. And then for the smallest petal, what I like to do is I like to curl one petal, or one side of the petal one way and then the other way. It just adds a little bit of a dimension to the flower, I think. So I do about 3 of each, where I curl one in a certain direction and the other in the other direction. You can certainly just do them as I did before. Alright, that's it in terms of curling my petals. And so next, what I like to do is take a pair of scissors and then cut a slit into the flower, the flower petal, excuse me, and then I glue it together like that. So this makes the petals stay upright rather than just flat. So I do that for all my petals. And once you do it enough, you'll get the hang of it, and it'll be easy to prep these petals really quickly. For the slit that I make, it's about 1.5 inches of a slit, a cut into the petal. If you make a shorter or smaller slit, then the petal stays more upright. If you make a longer slit, the petal lays more flat. So that's just something to keep in mind depending on how you want your petals to look. I think I can cut all these at once. Whoops. my hot glue gun keeps tipping over. So 2 more petals left. And that's it for prepping my petals. So I can start gluing them. And so what I glue it onto is this hexagon shape. It allows me to evenly, or as close to evenly as I can, lay the petals around in a circular shape. So what I like to do is put some glue and then glue the hexagon on top. And I do this for all the 6 petals. So the hexagon just serves as a guide in terms of gluing it in a perfect shape. Sometimes with that hexagon I tend to glue it a little funky, and then it doesn't end up nice and even. And by then you've already glued your petals together, so it's hard to redo it. So having a hexagon really helps. This flower really does go quite quickly, and you can make really large ones, and so this would definitely be a flower to include in a backdrop so that it helps the completion of the backdrop a lot quicker. So you can see it's quite a large flower, and we did that fairly quickly. So next I'm going to do the medium-sized petal. I'll put some glue underneath, and I glue it right between 2 petals. You can certainly do it right underneath the larger petal if you'd like. It's just a different look. Alright, one last petal. Alright, and that's 2 layers. My last one, I just have the small petals to go. So I did curl the petals differently here. So I'd like to take one of each. So you can see here I curled it in towards me, and this one I curled out. So I just like to alternate these. Alright, so ooh, it's stuck on my finger, that's glue. It's hot, so be careful. Alright, the last thing I need to do is add my flower center. And I'm using gold. And so I'll put this off to the side for now. What I have here is 2 pieces. I started with a 12 by 12 metallic gold cardstock. I do use my Silhouette Cameo to cut these, but the downside to using a cutting machine is it could take really long. I think it took maybe 10 minutes for this to cut. But it does cut nice even lines in between. What you can do instead is if you have a paper trimmer, you can use your paper trimmer to do it. So how you would do it is, for instance, this is a 6-inch piece of paper. I want it to cut maybe every 1/4 inch. So here's where I would just move it. Here's the blade for this. I won't cut it all the way at the edge. I'll start somewhere in the middle, and then I'll just make cuts. And every 1/4 inch, I'll slide and cut. You can put a piece of tape at the sides to help guide you if you don't want to accidentally cut all the way through. It is a little tedious. You can cut it on the 1/8 of an inch too, which is what I have on my gold centers. It's a little tedious, but it works just the same, and in a lot of ways it's a lot quicker than using a machine. So you can use a paper trimmer if you don't want the crease. What you can do is also just fold a piece of paper in half and then use your scissors to cut approximately 1/4 inch strips, or smaller if you'd like. They do make scissors with multiple blades in one tool, and that will make it go a lot quicker. So these are different options you can do to make your own flower centers. You can also use an X-Acto knife and a cutting mat along with a ruler to do the same thing. So these are all just different ideas if you do not have a cutting machine. So I'll move this off to the side. But what I had done is, it was a 12 by 12 inch piece of paper, and I had it set so that it would cut 6 by 12 in this way. So I can fold this in half, and if I glued the ends together and rolled it, this would be a center where you have loops in the middle. Or what you can do is you can fold it in half and crease it, which is what I'd like to do for this particular flower. And if you're just doing it with a piece of paper folded and scissors, you would already have this step, but since I did it on my cutting machine, this is what I have to do. In a lot of ways, the cutting machine is more precise in terms of the cut, and you don't have to do it yourself, but it takes a lot longer. With a pair of scissors, this would probably just take me a couple minutes to make. So don't think that you have to have a cutting machine to get this effect. So what I like to do is glue two sides together, just a little bit. The glue can ooze out, and so adding just a little bit is enough, and you will likely not burn any of your fingers. So here. And then what I like to do is just roll it. But what I like to do first is sort of twist it in a circular shape. This helps loosen the paper because there's glue in it. It's not going to wrap around itself circularly in a perfect shape. It'll kind of be boxy, so that helps loosen it up a bit. And I can roll it a little bit tighter. So all I need to do is just roll. And along the way, I just add a little dab of glue to hold it. You could glue the whole entire strip. I just don't find that's necessary, and sometimes the glue oozes out, and that is really painful. So just add a little bit of glue, and just keep rolling. What I did with sort of loosening up the piece of paper allows you to have a really nice tight roll. So that would be the center of the center. That's finished. And so with my 6 by 12 piece, I'll also do the same in terms of folding it in half and then creasing it. Again, if you just use a pair of scissors, you already had this step covered. And I want to make sure that this is really creased. So what I could do, again, is do the same thing and roll and then glue it around this. But what I'd like to do is there's a crease now on each little strip that I've cut, but I don't want to glue it so that it's perfectly flush and even. What I like to do is glue just a little bit before so it creates a little bit of an arch. And it has a small that's a small effect to it that I think looks really nice. It's not too different, and you're not doing anything too difficult. You're probably gluing it a 1/4 inch down from the other edge if you're going to do it this way. So I'm not sure if you can see that, but this part is flat, but then there's a little bit of loop because I didn't glue it completely edge to edge. And then what I'm going to do is I'll do the same thing where I sort of press it so that it loosens up the glue and the paper. And this will help with rolling, because what I'll do is eventually roll this piece around that center piece, like this. So I'm going to add I'm adding a little dab of glue to start. I want to make sure that I am rolling it tight, and I just go around. Add a dab of glue. And the last one at the end, a dab of glue. And there you have that center. And then I just need to put it into my flower, such. If I wanted to, I could flatten it a little bit more. It does have a bit of height to it, so if you flatten down these petals, it can hide a little bit of that height. It also helps to sort of blend them together. And there you go. This is my Tiffany flower. I am again using this in my wedding backdrop. So I hope this video helped, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much. Bye.